Welcome, welcome! Please come in, my curious friends, to Tier 2 Dehkia Ash, the new generation of crystal breakers, fresh out of the oven content that looks exactly the same but a different color. It's red, it's not green. Wow! It hits harder and it drops different PNGs. Exciting! Let's break it open and see what we can find inside. Let's start this with a simple question. But Duo, can you even grind here? Your gear is actually trash. Your DP looks like garbage. No, I mean, yeah, maybe. I tried. At first, I brought here the good old fish to give her a spin and didn't really turn out very well. So I figured, yeah, new class, I remember, the smoker. He's easy to play, big AoEs, very protected. Yeah, maybe tag that one. I brought that one here. It went fine for a while. Like I was able to grind 15 minutes, then die, then come back, do another 15 minutes, then die again. And by the third time I figured, yeah, maybe this is not quite working out. So I guess I'm crawling back to Heilang to ask him, please, can you tank the monsters for me, please? Can you allow me to grind and test this area? And that finally worked out, kind of. Let's just say PA finally made a spot that is ungrindable on Heilang. It finally is ungrindable on Heilang because my AP is not quite there. I do no damage. I went in fully prepared. I have a pen, level 5, new weapon, nice and shiny, a horse buff, house buff, tent buff, villa buffs, obviously, frenzy and courage to give me frenzy and courage, Vel popped, simple crown meal, and this all adds up to a whopping 1059 AP, which looks nice but doesn't work here. So as a result of much struggling and perseverance, I'm gonna do some mental gymnastics, but we will be able to review this area. By the way, the costume you keep seeing on Tamer is the Berserk collaboration one. I'm showcasing it. Definitely didn't get it for free. Wink wink. Before we get into the numbers, I should mention, this spot actually has mechanics, believe it or not, which I'm not very familiar with other than the big ghost despawning every single time it appears because I don't have the damage to actually kill it. Chilliers made a video on it, I will just link it in the description. Apparently the spot has 4 phases. The first wave will spawn big Grim Reapers, which will spin to win a lot. The second wave will spawn more big Grim Reapers, but also some ranged big Grim Reapers. The third wave is the one where the big boss spawns, the big ghost, which if you don't DPS it fast enough it will just simply despawn like it did for me every single time. And the fourth wave has a bunch of chibi Grim Reapers which also spin to win, interestingly. And I understand that these 4 waves don't come in order, so I don't know how that works, they are probably random. In my case, with Heilang, I literally had to run out of the pack and resummon him every 2 or 3 waves. So in my case, I most likely just reset this cycle every single time I had to resummon Heilang. Now then, let's talk numbers. Remember when I said we are gonna do some mental gymnastics? It's time for my Olympic performance. Money per hour. How do you think I was able to do that if I can't even grind here a proper hour? Well, to be fair, I did grind these 55 minutes on Tamer when I was testing experience and Agris efficiency. So I did 55 minutes and I was only able to pull about 4000 trash on yellow loot scroll, which doesn't... 4 point something thousand trash, you know? But we have Garmoth. Love it or hate it, the global data is global data. We have 562 hours to get averages for all of the rare item drop rate. It doesn't matter how fast or slow I clear as long as I can play with these numbers. People seem to pull about 12,000 trash on average, which is probably influenced by the lower end. Looking here, it seems like about 13,000 to 13.5 is normal. About 1.3 billion silver per hour average with 300% drop rate on yellow loot scroll. Let's say about 1.5 if you take out the Dehkia lantern and push this average a bit higher to 13 like this. So we are working with about 1.5. Now we yoink those numbers and put them in Excel. Same 300% drop rate, same averages, just 1 hour. The results are a bit different because I don't subtract costs like the Dehkia lantern, elixirs and whatever else. And if you scale it up to 13,000 trash per hour, the Garmoth results, it's, as I mentioned earlier, about 1.6 billion silver on yellow. Which already doesn't really look very good for a spot that will take some casualties. You know, those crystals, yeah, I wish I was recording back then because I was just checking out the spot, but I did break my gear in here. Moving back, these prices are the current EU marketplace values. I didn't import them from Garmoth because they will most likely keep changing. The crystals seem to be crashing, except for the Stalwart Fortitude one, which seems to be going up in price, and I fully expect this to keep changing in the coming weeks once the prices stabilize and the trash per hour stabilizes. The money per hour might look a bit different, but I highly doubt it. For the Agris efficiency, the TLDR is no, it's not worth it to use Agris points. Just like normal Dehkia Ash Forest, the monsters burn exactly the same 100 Agris per monster, 150,000 points used per hour, and this is the efficiency number, which if you compare to the other spots in the game, it lands about here. If you look at the other Dehkia Ash, it's slightly more efficient than tier 1 Dehkia Ash, but irrelevantly so. On the other side of the coin, haha, same joke, the Agris coin efficiency is actually worth it. It's not the best, not the worst, it's kind of in line with the other Dehkia spots, around 350-ish. You can look here obviously and make your own conclusion. There are more efficient spots, but it's not a complete waste to use the Agris coins here at, again, 13,000 trash per hour speed. For experience and skill points, once again, tested by myself with those 55 minutes on Tamer. Yeah, it's not here, it's not in this chart, it's just that bad. Scaled up all the way to match the 13,000 trash per hour, it's all the way here at the bottom. It's actually worse than tier 1 Dehkia Ash. And this is either correct, the experience is just worse, or it's because I had to keep resetting the waves on Heilang and it might have messed up a little bit the experience per hour. Regardless, it's bad. At best, it would match normal Ash, normal Dehkia Ash, which is bad in itself. If you look at the skill points, they are pretty much the same. Much easier to see on the other side. You have Dehkia Ash and tier 2 Dehkia Ash, which again, bad if you look all the way up. Moving on to the last stop for today, loot scroll efficiency. Should you use blue or yellow? With our session imported from Garmoth, 300% drop rate, the 43% loot scroll efficiency, because this is how much trash monsters drop on base, this is how it looks on blue, and this is the efficiency, blah blah blah. It's 53%, so not really. I mean, high-end players have a bunch of loot scrolls, at least I do, so I use yellow always, but on paper you're better off using blue loot scroll if you're just short on loot scrolls. And for the maid efficiency, because we added this recently, at 13,000 trash per hour, it's the same trash, the same weight, so you need 13 maids to grind here without a horse. And there you have it, that's tier 2 Dehkia Ash in a nutshell, pretty much everything there is about the spot. It's kind of unexciting, to be honest. We have new crystals, whatever, the Deboreka drop rate, whatever, Debos are starting to... they will slowly go down in price over time, because at this point it's no longer hot and interesting. The monsters are just identical, but they are red, they glow red and not green. They hit even harder, which makes me feel like, again, I'm an idiot with no gear, because I literally do... no, even on Dosa, he barely tickles the monsters enough for him to be there. I didn't even mention, on Dosa I was able to get 6,000 trash per hour, about there. Those 15 minutes scaled up times 4, it would have been 6,000 trash per hour, which is not even half of what proper geared people are supposed to get here. In the end, you know me, I've been here, I tried it, I did my time, I looked at the numbers, I explored the spot, the mystery is gone, so I will come back maybe in 3 years when something changes, or never. Until then, have fun, grind the spot, put the crystals on the marketplace so I can buy them, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye!